So definitely this motorcycle requires a Pillion back support, otherwise Pillion need to be picked from the roads because the motorcycle definitely put out power. Hello REVSOUL here, welcome you all guys to a new video. Today I just brought the latest Harley Davidson X440. From the older model we have got 72 changes which are visible and invisible to naked eyes. So let's unveil the all new Harley Davidson X440, and like as always, let's just start with the paint scheme itself. This motorcycle comes with a dark blue color and the paint quality is also somewhat decent, not the best quality I've seen in a motorcycle. And the front section we get the older like the multiple projector LED headlamps with that beautiful DR in the front section that provides like a decent light through in the night time. We also get the similar LED indicators which we did find in the older model, but the main change will be in the rear side because we have got a new rear section for this motorcycle with a completely redesigned subframe. We get a beautiful looking rear tail lights for this motorcycle. And getting on the bike, the first thing we'll be noticing will be the seat height, right? The motorcycle has got a similar seat height as that of before, a not 5mm. I'm a 5'8" guy. I have complete planted food on both side. And the weight, the motorcycle is a bit too heavy. The motorcycle has got 192 kilograms. So if you guys are a bit weak, it might be a bit difficult for you guys to move around the parking lot. And looking at the handlebar switches, we can find the key switches have improved from the older bike, but the switches remain similar with the pass button, bright button, everything integrated in a single switch. These are for toggling around the meter console, the indicators, the horn. Right side we get the hazard and the kill switch and ignition integrated into a single switch. I think Harley just forgot to give some kind of an extra feature right here, but in the last stage they just took that plan away. And before going the meter console, let's check the keys. This is a similar key that we did find in the older Harley Davidson X440. That same engraving with the Harley Davidson emblem right here. And looking at the meter console, we can find that similar meter console again, the 3.5-inch colorful TFT meter console with every single needed details. We get the tachometer, gear position indicator, speedometer, time, odometer, fuel indication. And holding this button, we can get into menu. It's Bluetooth connectivity available, so turn by turn navigation, music control, everything can be accessed from this meter console. And getting on the bike option, we get a bit more new features like the riding mode. Right now we get two riding mode, the road and again the rain mode. In the rain mode, the power is cut down a bit so that we can completely easily ride in the rainy season. And we can also right now turn on the rear ABS just like the KTM Supermoto mode. To have an extra fun, we can lock the wheels in the rear side, and we also can turn off the traction control since the traction control is also available. And other things like display, time, date, everything can also be accessed from this meter console. We can personalize according to our favorites. And we also get a Type A charging port right here to charging our phones while on the ride. And now let's talk about the engine, right? The motorcycle comes with a 440cc single cylinder air plus oil cooling engine for this motorcycle. We can find that cute little radiator in the front section, and the engine also runs cooler in the traffic too. And talking about the power figures, which are mad figures for this motorcycle, and the motorcycle can produce like 25 horsepower and 38 Nm of torque. And the main fact is that we get that 25 horsepower at 6000 rpm, and the torque figures, that 38 Nm of torque can be accessed as just 4000 rpm, which is a fun thing for this motorcycle. And the ride feel is completely different. And to stop this kind of a humongous power, the motorcycle comes with bi-brake calipers, 2-piston bi-brake calipers in the front side with the 320mm disc rotors. To stop this 192 kilogram bike, the brakes are putting much of an effort, and the brakes also works perfectly. And in the rear side we get the 240mm disc rotors again with the single piston bi-brake calipers. And now looking at the front suspension, we get the 43mm USD forks in the front side with a 130mm travel. And the compression is also rechanged. I mean, the compression is also changed from the older models because bottoming of the suspension in the front side for the older models was too common. So Harley Davidson worked on the suspension for the front side too. And the rear suspension we get the rear side we get similar suspension to the older model with the gas charged 7-stage preload adjustable suspension in the rear side. No changes in the rear suspension, but we can find other changes like the protector for the exhaust and also changes in the levers, the nut and bolts. And this portion also completely changed I mean, the Harley Davidson had both much more premiumness for this all new Harley Davidson X440T, and we also get a 170mm ground clearance for this motorcycle. And tire, we get the MRF tires with the 100 section tires in the front side and a 140 section tires in the rear side with the 18-inch alloy wheels. The diamond cut beautiful alloy wheels in the front side and a 17-inch diamond cut alloy wheels in the rear side. So the complete premiumness of this motorcycle has been improved from the older models. So before going for a short ride, let's also hear the exhaust note. Okay, the fuel pump is ready. This is completely a beautiful exhaust, guys. While on the ride, we can also hear the pops and bangs while downshifting too. Let me give a bit of a throttle too. And that's it. Now let's go for a short ride on the all new Harley Davidson X440T. Finally, we have reached the highway, so let's see how the all new Harley Davidson X440 performs. I think we have a short open road, so let's give a small pull. And that's it. The motorcycle can climb up to like 120 km/h easily. After that, the engine gets saturated. After those like climbing speeds, it can reach up to like 129, 130. And vibration side, yeah, we do feel vibration, the foot pegs and the handlebars after like 6000 rpm, the higher rpms for this motorcycle. And below those rpms, we don't really find that kind of a vibration for this motorcycle. And looking at the sweet spot for this Harley Davidson X440T would be like 115, 110 km/h, where we can completely enjoy the motorcycle, and the vibrations are also so minimal to none. So it's a beautiful speed for Harley Davidson X440T. And we do find bar and mirrors, our newly designed bar and mirrors for this motorcycle, than from the older classic mirrors for the old Harley Davidson X440. And looking at the ergonomic side, the bike is completely upright, the handlebars are wide, seats are comfortable, wider. And looking at the foot pegs are just forward set from the seat, so it's a completely relaxing riding position for this Harley Davidson X440T. And comfort wise, rider have complete comfort for this motorcycle, but Pillion doesn't have that much of comfort because the seats are inclined for this motorcycle. Since the motorcycle produces a tremendous amount of power, the Pillion tends to move backwards when pulling out the throttle, which I felt when I was riding on this motorcycle as a Pillion. So definitely this motorcycle requires a Pillion back support, otherwise Pillion need to be picked from the roads, because the motorcycle definitely put out power at very low RPMs, which the Pillion doesn't have any idea about. And braking wise, Vibre has its work done perfectly. Even though the motorcycle weighs about like 192 kilograms, the motorcycle brakes perfectly, even at a very short period. Instead of saying, I'll just show you guys the braking, just the front brakes at like 60 km/h. And as you guys have seen, while panic braking, the indicators and the brake lights blink quickly, alerting the riders behind our back, which is a great feature for this Harley Davidson X440T. And for touring, right now the seats are only comfortable for solo touring, and if the seats are managed or changed, then you guys can tour with a Pillion also. And talking about the mileage figures, and before that, looking at the tank, we get a 13.5 liter tank as that of the predecessor, the Harley Davidson X440. And looking in the fuel efficiency side, we get up to like 30 km/L, which is what Harley Davidson claims. And the motorcycle put out like 28 km/L, which is close to 30. And so we get a decent fuel efficiency for this motorcycle. And looking on the pricing right now, it costs about like 3,39,000 rupees on road Kerala Trivandrum, which is like 25,000 more than from the older model. And for that pricing, we get additional features like the ride-by-wire throttle, switchable traction control, ABS modes, riding modes, so much other features too, with a much more greater premiumness. So it's definitely a great pricing for this Harley Davidson X440. And I think I've shown you much of the details of this motorcycle. So let's catch up in the next video. Until then, bye bye.